While Enoch lay asleep in the quiet of the night, something extraordinary happened. Two beings, unlike any mortal man, stood silently by his side. Their faces blazed like the midday sun, and their eyes glowed like burning coals. Fire danced at the edges of their mouths, and their robes shimmered like they were stitched with light itself. Great golden wings stretched from their shoulders, glowing softly in the darkness. They whispered his name, Enoch, Enoch. Startled, he awoke, but before fear could take hold, their voices calmed him. Fear not. Be at peace. The eternal God has sent us. Today, you will ascend. And with that, they lifted him up. He rose upon their wings, and the earth fell away beneath him. The sky parted. The clouds spun past, and soon they soared beyond the very air, rising into a realm unseen by human eyes. They passed into the first heaven. There, the mysteries of both man and the divine were unveiled to Enoch, secrets not meant for the earthbound. And among them was the tale of the fall of the Watchers. As humanity flourished and daughters were born, graceful, beautiful, those angels, known as the sons of heaven, looked down and felt a burning desire. "Let us go," they whispered among themselves, "and take wives from among the daughters of men. Let us bear children with them." Their leader, Semjaza, hesitated. "What if you abandon this plan?" he warned. "Then I alone will suffer the weight of heaven's wrath." But the others would not turn back. "Then let us all swear an oath," they said. "Let us bind ourselves together. None shall break this pact." And so they made the vow. 200 angels, bound by their word, descended to the earth during the time of Jared. They landed upon the peak of a great mountain, Mount Hermon, and because they had sworn and sealed their oath there, they named it after that binding. Their leaders were many. Among them were Semjaza, Arakiba, Ramael, Kokabiel, Tamiel, Ramiel, Danel, and Ezekiel, names whispered across the ages. Barakijal, Asael, Armaros, Batarel, Ananel, Zakiel, Samsapel, Satarel, Turel, Jomjael, and Sariel. They were the Watchers, and what they would do next would shake both heaven and earth. Each of the fallen angels had a commander, a captain who led 10 under his charge. Together, these beings took mortal wives. Every one of them chose a woman, and with them, they crossed a forbidden line. They defiled themselves, stepping into a union not meant to be. And they didn't come empty-handed. They brought with them forbidden knowledge, spells, charms, rituals drawn from the depths. They taught the secrets of the roots and herbs, and the mysteries locked within the plants of the earth. Soon the women bore children, giants, colossal beings, so massive their heads scraped the clouds. They grew ravenous. They consumed everything, the food, the land, the people. And when mankind could no longer feed their monstrous hunger, the giants turned against them. They devoured humans, sinned against the birds, the beasts, the creeping things of the earth, and even the fish in the sea. The world spiraled into savagery. These giants even fed on one another, drinking blood and consuming flesh. The earth itself cried out. The ground bore witness to the chaos and lifted its voice in accusation against them. And it wasn't just the giants who brought ruin. One angel in particular, Azazel, unleashed devastation of another kind. He gave humanity the means of war, swords, knives, armor, and shields. He revealed the secrets of metals and how to forge them. He introduced the adorning of bodies, bracelets, ornaments, and the art of cosmetics. He taught how to use antimony to darken the eyes, and how to mine precious stones, and how to dye garments in vivid colors. What he gave them was knowledge, but it bred vanity, greed, lust, and violence. Wickedness spread like a storm with no end. People gave in to their desires, staining the earth with corruption. Fornication ran rampant, innocence vanished. Semjaza taught even more, deep enchantments and root magic. Armaros revealed how to break spells, Barakijal whispered the language of the stars, Kokabel taught the movement of constellations, Ezekiel exposed the hidden workings of the clouds. Arachiel spoke of the earth's signs. Shamsiel revealed the paths of the sun, and Sariel guided men to the rhythm of the moon. One by one, the angels poured divine secrets into corrupted hands, and humanity, unable to bear the weight, began to crumble. Their cries, anguished, desperate, endless, rose up like smoke toward the heavens. And from above, the archangels watched: Michael, Uriel, Raphael, Gabriel. They gazed upon the earth, and what they saw tore at the core of their being. Blood soaked the land, lawlessness reigned. Creation, once pure and peaceful, had been turned into a wasteland. The voices of the innocent cried out like thunder. The earth pleaded for mercy, and heaven listened. The souls of mankind, broken and grieving, cried out to the heavens. Holy ones, hear us. Bring our pleas before the Most High. Their pain echoed through the realms, rising beyond the clouds, and the angels, moved by the suffering they witnessed, turned to the Creator and said, O Lord of Lords, God above all gods, King of kings, your throne has stood since before time. Your name is holy, blessed for eternity. You are the maker of all things, and nothing escapes your gaze. You see it all, and you know what's been done. Azazel, he's taken what was sacred and thrown it into the hands of mortals. He's dragged the earth into darkness, revealing secrets never meant for humankind. And Semjazar, the one who led them, he's brought the Watchers down to earth. They took women, defiled them, and through them giants were born, giants who now ravage the world. The land is soaked with blood. The cries of the dead rise like a storm, and still the wrong continues. You, Lord, knew this before it began. You see all, and yet we don't understand. Why is this allowed to continue? What are we to do? Then he answered. The voice of the Most High shook the heavens like a roaring fire. The Holy and Great One finally spoke, and his word came like thunder. He turned to Uriel and said, Go, find Noah, the son of Lamech. Tell him, in my name hide yourself. The end is coming. A great flood will sweep across the earth. Everything that breathes will be wiped out. But you, prepare, survive. Let your children carry on the line of mankind. Then the Lord turned to Raphael and gave a second command. Go to Azazel, bind him. Chain his hands and feet, drag him to the wilderness of Dudael. There dig a deep, jagged pit and cast him into the shadows. Cover him with rough stones. Let him dwell in that darkness, never again to see the light. He will remain there until the day of judgment, and on that day he will be cast into the eternal fire. And then came the call for healing. The Most High declared, Now restore the earth. Purge it of the corruption sown by the fallen ones. Announce the coming renewal, so that not all of humanity is lost to the secrets they should have never known. The land lies ruined, twisted by what Azazel has revealed, so let him carry the burden. Let him bear the weight of every sin. Then the Lord turned to Gabriel. His voice was firm, unshakable. Go. Strike down the giants, the unholy offspring of rebellion. They were born from sin, and their time has come. Let them turn on each other in battle. Let chaos devour them, for their days are short, and they will not endure. He continued, and their fathers, the Watchers, let their prayers fall unheard. They had dreams of immortality, hopes that their children would rule the earth for centuries. But those dreams will turn to dust. Then he turned to Michael. Bind Semjazar, and bind those who followed him. These are the ones who broke the sacred boundaries, who united with mortals and defiled what was meant to be pure. Make them watch. Let them see their sons slaughter one another. Let them witness the fall of what they built in defiance. Then drag them down, imprison them deep beneath the earth, far below where light can reach. They will remain bound for 70 generations until the hour of final judgment, the day of eternal reckoning. And when that day comes, they will be cast into the lake of fire, into endless torment, never to be free again. And all who are marked for destruction will be thrown in with them, their spirits chained together, bound for all eternity. Cleanse the world, wipe out the evil, erase the corrupted spirits and the children of the Watchers. They have stained humanity long enough. Let righteousness rise again. Let truth take root. Let the earth breathe clean air once more. Let this be a blessing, a new beginning, a world where justice flourishes, where joy grows like an everlasting tree. And the Lord promised, the righteous will remain. They will multiply. They will live long and full lives, thousands of descendants born from their peace. From the dawn of youth to the twilight of old age, they will know no fear, no sorrow. The earth will be cared for with righteousness. The earth will flourish, covered in trees, overflowing with blessings. The richest trees will stretch across the land, vines will burst with endless wine, and seeds sown will multiply 1,000-fold. Even the smallest harvest of olives will produce 10 presses of oil, a sign of abundance and favor. The Lord will cleanse the earth from all oppression, from every shadow of evil, every trace of sin and godlessness. He will wipe away the filth that has defiled the land, and then the children of humanity will rise righteous. Every nation, every people will bow down in praise. All will worship the one true God. The earth will be pure, free from defilement, free from pain, punishment, and torment. Never again will such suffering befall it, from generation to generation, forevermore. In those days, the heavens themselves will open. The storehouses of blessings will pour down rain upon the earth, rewarding the labor and toil of humanity. Truth and peace will walk side by side, lasting through all the days of the world, carried on by every generation to come. Before all this, Enoch had vanished, hidden from the eyes of mankind. No one knew where he went or what had become of him. Enoch's fate was tied to the Watchers, and he walked among the holy ones, a witness to the secrets of heaven. And then I, Enoch, blessed the Lord of Majesty, the King eternal, throughout all ages. The Watchers called to me, Enoch, scribe of righteousness, go deliver this message to those who abandoned their sacred home, the Watchers of heaven who defiled themselves, who took wives from earth and acted like mere children of dust. You have brought great destruction upon the world. No peace will come to you, no forgiveness will be granted. Though you love your children, you will watch their violent fall. You will mourn and lament for all eternity, but mercy and peace will never be yours. Enoch approached Azazel, the fallen one. With a voice steady and unwavering, he declared, Azazel, peace will never find you. A harsh and unbreakable sentence has been passed, one that will bind you for all eternity. No mercy will be granted, no plea answered. This is your fate. Because of the darkness you have sown, the forbidden knowledge and sinful ways you revealed to mankind. Then Enoch gathered the fallen Watchers before him. Fear gripped their hearts, trembling overtook their bodies. In desperation, they begged him, write for us a petition, a plea for forgiveness. Speak to the Lord of heaven on our behalf. We can no longer face him ourselves. Our guilt is too great, our shame too heavy. Their sin weighed down on them like iron chains. So Enoch obeyed. He carefully wrote down their plea, recording their regrets, their desires, begging for mercy, for a chance to extend their days. Afterward, he journeyed to the waters of Dan, southwest of Mount Hermon. There, by the quiet edge of the water, he read their petition aloud, pouring out their sorrow, until exhaustion claimed him, and he fell into deep sleep. In the darkness of his rest, visions crashed over him, vivid scenes filled with judgment. A voice thundered in his dream, "Bring this message to the sons of heaven, rebuke them for their rebellion." When Enoch awoke, he returned to the watchers. They gathered at Abel's Yael, between Lebanon's mountains and Sanaser, faces hidden in grief and despair. With solemn authority, Enoch spoke of the visions shown to him in sleep. Amid their tears, he pronounced words of righteousness, rebuking the fallen watchers for their great sins. This is the book of righteousness, the record of warning to the eternal watchers, as revealed to me by the Holy Great One in vision. Though I saw these things in sleep, I now speak them aloud with my human voice, using the breath given by the Great One to share this message and to open the hearts of men. Just as God granted mankind the gift of wisdom, He has granted me the power to rebuke the watchers, those once holy children of heaven who have fallen. I wrote down your plea, and in my vision the truth was clear. Your request will never be granted, not now, not ever. Judgment has been sealed for you for all eternity. From this moment forward, you will never ascend back to heaven. You will remain bound to the earth, trapped deep within its core, for as long as the world endures. Before your time ends, you will watch your beloved sons destroyed. No joy, no mercy, cut down by the sword before your very eyes. Even if you weep, even if you pray, even if you repeat every word I have written, your cries for their forgiveness and your own will fall on deaf ears. Then in my vision, clouds swept me away, a mist enveloped me, and stars and lightning propelled me forward. The winds carried me upward into the heavens themselves. I approached a towering wall, pure crystal blazing with tongues of fire. Fear gripped me tight as I passed through the flames. Before me stood a magnificent house of crystal, walls shining like the flawless floor beneath my feet. Its foundation sparkled with the same brilliant light. Above the ceiling was a starry sky streaked with lightning, and between the bolts, fiery cherubim danced. The heavens were clear as water. Flames roared around the house, its doors consumed by fire. Inside, the heat was unbearable, as scorching as flame, as biting as ice. No joy filled this place, only dread. My whole body trembled uncontrollably. Overcome, I fell face down upon the ground. Then I saw another house, even grander, more awe-inspiring than the first. Its colossal gates stood wide open, forged from living flames. Its splendor defied description, beyond any words I could find. The floor was a river of fire, stars and lightning swirling above. The ceiling blazed with fierce flames. At its center stood a throne, majestic and towering, gleaming like crystal, its wheels shining like the burning sun, surrounded by countless cherubim. Rivers of fire poured from beneath the throne, so fierce I dared not look directly upon them. Seated there was the great glory, his robe brighter than the sun, purer than the whitest snow. Not even angels dared behold his face. Such was the overwhelming majesty and splendor. Flames encircled him, a vast fire burning before him. No one dared draw near. Yet before him stood tens of thousands, though he required no counsel. The holiest ones remained by his side, never leaving, neither by day nor night. Still trembling, I lay face down, unable to move. Then the Lord called out to me with his mighty voice, "Come, Enoch, and listen closely to my words." One of the holy ones gently woke me, lifting me up and guiding me toward the entrance. With my face bowed low, I obeyed. The Lord spoke again, voice powerful and clear. "Do not be afraid, Enoch, righteous man, faithful scribe of truth. Come closer and hear my words. Go and tell the watchers of heaven, the ones who sent you to plead on their behalf. It is not men who should plead for you. You should have interceded for mankind. Why did you abandon the high, holy, eternal heaven? Why did you defile yourselves with the daughters of men, taking them as wives and fathering giants, your corrupted sons? Once pure, eternal beings of spirit, you stained yourselves with flesh and blood, craving mortal desires like those who die and fade away. I gave men wives so they could bear children, to fill the earth with life, to ensure nothing would be lacking. But you were not made like them. You were once spiritual beings, eternal and immortal, never meant to know death. That is why I did not give you wives. The spiritual dwell in heaven, not on earth. But now your offspring, the giants born from spirits and flesh, will be called evil spirits upon the earth, and here shall their cursed home be. From their bodies these evil spirits emerged. Their origin is with you, the fallen watchers. These spirits will roam among men, bringing chaos and destruction across the land. They are called evil because they come from both human and heavenly flesh. Belonging to neither, yet tormenting both, the spirits of the heavenly beings remain in heaven, but the spirits born from earth, born of your sin, shall be bound here forever. These spirits of giants bring suffering. They afflict, oppress, destroy, and make war. They hunger without food, thirst without drink, their endless cravings spreading misery. They rise against men and women alike, for they are born of both. Since the days the giants were slain, their spirits have roamed the earth, destructive, rebellious, relentless. They will torment until the day of final judgment, when all things, the watchers and the godless, will face their end. On that day, the age will be fulfilled. Now, as for the watchers who sent you to plead, say this to them. Yes, you once dwelled in heaven, but not all mysteries were revealed to you. Instead, you grasped at hidden knowledge, and in the hardness of your hearts, you revealed these secrets to women. Because of this, men and women commit great evil on the earth. Therefore tell them, you shall find no peace, neither in heaven nor on earth. Enoch was then taken to a place where beings blazed like flames of fire, though at will they could appear as men. He was led to a vast mountain, its peak stretching to the very heavens. He saw the storerooms of stars and lights in the sky, and the deepest depths where thunder, lightning, and fiery weapons, arrows and flaming swords are kept. He was led to the living waters and the blazing fire of the west, where the sun sets each evening. He came to a river of fire, flames flowing like water, pouring into the great western sea. Enoch beheld the great rivers of the world and journeyed into the darkest places where no living creature can tread. He saw mountains cloaked in winter's shadow and the source from which the waters of the deep flow. He saw the mouths of every river and the entrance to the vast, bottomless depths. He saw the storerooms of all the winds, how they are arranged to shape creation, to lay the strong foundation of the earth. He beheld the cornerstone of the earth and the four winds that uphold both earth and sky. He watched how the winds spread the skies apart, standing between heaven and earth like pillars supporting the heavens. He saw the heavenly winds that turn the sun and guide the stars in their courses. He saw the winds on earth carrying the clouds and the pathways of angels. At the edge of the earth he saw the sky above. He ventured further to a place burning day and night, where 7 magnificent mountains stood, 3 to the east, 3 to the south. The eastern mountains were made of colorful stone, pearl, and jacinth, while the southern mountains were of red stone. The central mountain rose high into the heavens, like God's throne, made of pure alabaster, with a sapphire summit. Flames blazed before him, and beyond these mountains lay the very end of the earth. He saw where the heavens were completed, a deep abyss filled with columns of heavenly fire, stretching beyond what he could measure in both height and depth. Beyond that abyss was a place with no sky above and no solid ground below, an empty, desolate wasteland. There Enoch beheld 7 stars, burning like great mountains of fire. Curious and troubled, he asked the angel beside him, "What are these mighty stars? What place is this?" The angel answered, "This is the very end of heaven and earth, the prison of the stars and the heavenly beings. These stars, rolling endlessly over the flames, are those who disobeyed the Lord's command. They failed to rise at their appointed time. For their rebellion, the Lord's wrath bound them here to remain until their guilt is fully judged, even for 10,000 years." Uriel then spoke to Enoch with solemnity. "Here stand the angels who defiled themselves, taking human women as wives. Their spirits now take many forms, leading mankind astray, causing men to worship demons as gods. Here they shall remain imprisoned until the great day of judgment, when they will be utterly destroyed. The women who were led astray by these angels will become sirens, calling men to their doom." And Enoch alone saw this vision, the end of all things. No other mortal shall witness what he has seen. Enoch continued his journey with the holy angels, who revealed the deep mysteries of the universe to him. He was introduced to the celestial guardians who watch over humanity. "These are the names of the holy angels," Enoch said. "Uriel, who oversees the world and the depths of Tartarus. Raphael, who watches over the spirits of men. Raguel, who executes vengeance upon the world of the luminaries. Michael, set over the best part of humanity and over chaos itself. Sarachiel, who governs the spirits of those who sin in spirit. Gabriel, keeper of paradise, serpents, and the cherubim. Remiel, appointed by God over those who rise from the dead." Enoch was then taken to a place of utter chaos, neither heaven above nor a firm earth below, only a realm of complete disorder and horror. There he saw again 7 stars, bound tightly together, burning like giant mountains of fire. He asked, "For what sin are these stars bound? Why have they been cast into this chaos?" Uriel, chief among the holy angels, replied, "Enoch, why do you seek this truth so eagerly? These stars transgressed the Lord's command. They are bound here until 10,000 years of punishment have been fulfilled." Next, Enoch was taken to an even more dreadful place. An immense fire blazing and burning, reaching down to the abyss itself, filled with towering columns of fire. Its vastness was beyond his understanding. "How terrifying this place is," Enoch said. "How awful it is to behold such pain," Uriel asked. "Enoch, why do you tremble with fear?" Enoch replied, "Because of this fearful place and the sight of such torment." Uriel said, "This is the prison of the angels, where they will remain forever, held captive until the end of days." Enoch was then led to another place, where Uriel showed him a great and towering mountain in the west, carved from solid rock. Within this mountain were 4 vast hollow chambers, deep, wide, and astonishingly smooth. They were dark and forbidding, evoking a chilling fear. Raphael, one of the holy angels accompanying Enoch, explained, "These hollow places have been prepared for the spirits of the dead, so that the souls of all the children of men may gather here. They will remain in these places until the day of their judgment, when their appointed time will come." Enoch gazed upon the spirits of men who had passed from this world, and their voices rose in a desperate chorus to heaven, pleading for justice. He asked Raphael, "Whose spirit is this that cries out so earnestly?" Raphael replied, "This is the spirit of Abel, murdered by his brother Cain. His voice will cry out for vengeance until the descendants of Cain are wiped from the earth." Enoch then inquired about the divisions among the hollow places. "Why are they separated thus?" Raphael answered, "They are divided to separate the righteous from the sinners. One chamber holds a bright spring of water, a refuge for the righteous. Another is set aside for sinners who died without judgment during their lives. There, Their spirits suffer great torment until the day of judgment, when they will face their punishment and know no peace. A third chamber holds those who cry out for vengeance, whose lives were cut short by wickedness. The last is for those wholly corrupt in their sins. They remain together in torment, but on Judgment Day they will neither be destroyed nor rise again. Enoch lifted his voice in praise. Blessed be the Lord of glory, the Lord of righteousness who rules forever. He then journeyed west beyond the ends of the earth, where he beheld a fire that burned unceasingly, day and night, its relentless blaze never ceasing or resting. Curious, he asked, "What is this relentless fire?" Raguel, another holy angel with him, replied, "This is the western fire which pursues all the celestial lights of heaven without respite." Further along his journey, Enoch came upon a range of fiery mountains, their flames burning without pause, both day and night. Beyond them stood 7 magnificent mountains, each unique and glorious. 3 rose in the east, stacked one above another, and 3 stood similarly in the south, separated by rugged ravines. In the midst of these, the 7th mountain towered like a majestic throne, surrounded by aromatic trees. Among these trees, Enoch noticed one unlike any he had ever seen. Its fragrance was exquisite, its leaves, blossoms, and wood evergreen, and its fruit as beautiful as the finest palm dates. Enoch admired the tree's beauty and enchanting scent, marveling at the eternal freshness of its leaves and flowers. Michael, the mighty leader of the holy angels, noticed Enoch's wonder and asked, "Why are you so curious about this tree's fragrance? Why do you seek to know its truth?" Enoch replied, "I wish to understand all things, especially about this extraordinary tree." Michael explained, "This towering mountain, whose summit resembles God's throne, is indeed his throne. The Holy Great One, the Lord of Glory, the Eternal King, will one day descend to earth in kindness. Until the Great Judgment, no mortal may touch this fragrant tree. But at that time, when divine justice is fulfilled and all is set right, the tree will be given to the righteous and holy. Its fruit will nourish the chosen, and the tree will be transplanted to the sacred place, the Lord's eternal temple. Then the righteous will rejoice and enter the holy place, their lives enriched by the tree's fragrance. They will live long and fulfilled lives, free from sorrow, disease, torment, or disaster, just as their ancestors did in days of old." Enoch raised his voice in praise once more, honoring the God of glory, the eternal King, who had prepared such blessings for the righteous and promised to bestow them. Enoch traveled deep into the heart of the earth, where he discovered a blessed land, lush and alive, filled with trees that bloomed forever, untouched by time. There he beheld a sacred mountain, from whose peak a stream flowed eastward, meandering gently toward the south. To the east stood another mountain, taller and more majestic, separated from the first by a deep and narrow ravine. A ravine carved from solid rock, with a stream running quietly beneath its depths. To the west, a lower mountain stood apart, divided by a dry, deep ravine, equally narrow and forbidding. At the far ends of these 3 mountains, another deep and barren ravine marked the boundary, all carved from ancient stone, stark and devoid of life. Enoch gazed in awe at these rugged formations, astonished by their solemn majesty and formidable presence. He pondered aloud, "What is the purpose of this blessed land, so rich with life and trees, and yet this cursed valley that lies between?" Uriel answered with solemnity, "That cursed valley is reserved for the eternally condemned. It is the gathering place for those who have blasphemed against the Lord and his glory. Here, the accursed shall face their judgment without mercy. When the end of days comes, the righteous will stand witness to this scene of divine justice and mercy, and they will bless the Lord of glory, the eternal King." On that great day they will praise him for his boundless mercy, which will determine their eternal fate. Enoch lifted his voice in adoration, praising the Lord of glory, celebrating his majesty, righteousness, and grace. Continuing his journey, Enoch ventured eastward into a rugged mountainous desert, a desolate wilderness paradoxically teeming with life, where trees and plants thrived amidst the harsh terrain. Water flowed abundantly from the heights above, rushing northwestward, forming clouds and dew that spread far and wide. Further east, Enoch arrived at another arid place where aromatic trees grew, their sweet scents reminiscent of frankincense and myrrh, their blossoms soft and delicate like almond trees. Beyond, he found a valley filled with flowing water. At its center stood a tree with a fragrance akin to mastic. Along the valley's edges, cinnamon trees flourished, their spicy scent carried on the gentle breeze. Pressing onward to new mountains, Enoch discovered groves bearing nectar known as sarara and galbanum, rare and precious gifts of the earth. Farther east, he came upon another mountain range covered in aloe trees filled with stactae, their form reminiscent of almond trees. When burned, these trees released a fragrance surpassing all others, an aroma both sweet and sacred. Looking north across the mountains, Enoch beheld 7 majestic peaks, abundant with precious nard, fragrant trees, cinnamon and pepper, a bounty of nature's most treasured scents. He traversed these lofty heights, journeyed east beyond the Erythraean Sea, and traveled far past the angel Zotiel into realms yet unseen. Enoch reached the Garden of Righteousness, a sanctuary radiant with life and fragrance, where mighty trees stretched tall toward the heavens. And among them stood the wondrous tree of wisdom. This tree soared as high as the tallest fir, its leaves soft and broad like those of the carob tree, its fruit clustered like vines, releasing a fragrance that perfumed the air far and wide. Enoch marveled, awestruck by its beauty and grace. Raphael, the holy angel who walked beside him, spoke, "This is the tree of wisdom, from which your aged father and mother once ate. And through it, their eyes were opened, their nakedness revealed, and thus they were driven from the garden's embrace." Beyond the garden, Enoch journeyed to the earth's farthest reaches, where he beheld majestic beasts of every kind, each unique in shape, color, and strength. Birds soared overhead, each singing melodies as distinct and beautiful as their feathers. To the east, Enoch saw the place where heaven and earth meet, where the portals of the heavens open wide, and from these gates the stars emerge, their paths and names recorded with perfect precision. Uriel, the holy angel with him, revealed to Enoch the sacred laws governing the stars, their names, their groups, their timing, all etched into the great cosmic order. Turning northward to the earth's edge, Enoch beheld 3 great portals in the sky from which northern winds burst forth. Winds bearing cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. When the wind blew gently from one portal, it brought blessing and life. But when the others opened wide, the winds carried harshness, tumult, and suffering upon the earth. To the west, Enoch found 3 more portals, mirroring those of the east. And to the south, yet another 3, through which dew, rain, and wind emerged in eternal rhythm. Returning once more to the east, Enoch saw smaller portals above the great ones, through which the stars journey westward, following their ordained paths, unwavering. Each vision filled Enoch with awe and reverence, and with every revelation he praised the Lord of glory, the creator of these wonders, the architect of the heavens, whose power and wisdom shine before angels, spirits, and mankind alike. He blessed the Lord for his eternal majesty and craftsmanship, calling upon the elect and righteous to stand firm, to endure the trials of the final days, when the wicked will be purged and the godless removed. Then Enoch saw a vision of the Holy One in the heavens, revealed through the angel's light and truth. A message not for his own generation, but for a future time yet to come. He prophesied of the elect. The Holy Great One will emerge from his dwelling, and the eternal God will set foot upon the earth on Mount Sinai. From his divine encampment he will reveal his mighty strength, descending from the highest heaven. All shall tremble with terror, the watchers will quake in fear, and a profound dread will grip the earth. Lofty mountains will shake, high hills will crumble to dust, melting like wax before a raging fire. The earth itself will be torn apart, and all who dwell upon it will perish under the weight of the final judgment. Yet, mercy will shine upon the righteous. The elect will find peace and protection, belonging forever to the God of glory. They shall be blessed and prospered, held up by his mighty hand, bathed in his radiant light, and granted eternal peace. Behold, the Holy One will come, accompanied by thousands of his saints, to execute judgment on all, to destroy the ungodly and convict all flesh for the wicked deeds and harsh words spoken against him. Observe the heavens, how the stars and planets keep their courses, rising and setting precisely as decreed, never wavering from their appointed paths. Look upon the earth and its steadfast patterns, unchanging from season to season. Summer and winter cycle with water, clouds, dew, and rain. In winter, most trees wither and shed their leaves, but 14 remain evergreen for years until new life begins anew. In summer, the sun blazes directly overhead, its scorching heat driving you to seek shade, while the earth grows too hot to tread. Trees flourish, bearing fruit in abundance. See and understand the works of God. Everything performs its task year after year, obedient to the divine decree. The seas and rivers flow as commanded, unchanged in their purpose. But you who have turned away have not been faithful to the Lord's commandments. You have spoken prideful, harsh words against his greatness. Therefore your days shall be cursed, your years consumed in eternal damnation, with no mercy or reprieve. Your name will be a curse among the righteous, and sinners will invoke your name as a reproach. For the ungodly there shall be no escape, only a curse will be your legacy. But the righteous shall rejoice, finding forgiveness, mercy, and salvation. They will be enveloped in bright light, while sinners shall find only darkness and condemnation. For the elect there will be light, joy, and peace. They will inherit the earth. Wisdom shall be granted to them. They will live sinless lives, free from pride and iniquity. The wise will walk humbly, never to transgress again, safe from divine wrath and anger. Their days will be fulfilled in peace, their lives crowned with eternal joy throughout all their days. Enoch, son of Jared, grandson of Mahalalel, descendant of Adam, shared this second vision of wisdom, marking the beginning of his prophetic words. Listen, all who have lived before and all who will come after, to the messages of the Holy One spoken before the Lord of Spirits. Enoch gazed upon an innumerable multitude, thousands upon thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000, standing before the Lord of Spirits. Surrounding him on all four sides were 4 distinct presences, unlike any eternal beings Enoch had seen before. An angel by his side spoke, revealing their names and the hidden truths. The first is Michael, compassionate and patient. The second is Raphael, who oversees all diseases and wounds of humanity. The third is Gabriel, commander over all powers. And the fourth is Phanuel, guardian of repentance and hope for those who will inherit eternal life. These are the 4 angels of the Lord of Spirits, and the voices you have heard. Their voices rang out in praise before the Lord of Glory. The first voice praised the Lord of Spirits eternally. The second voice blessed the elect one and the chosen who trust in the Lord. The third voice prayed and interceded for the people on earth. And the fourth voice stood firm against the Satans, defending the people from accusation before the Lord. Enoch watched as all the secrets of the heavens unfolded before him, the kingdom's divine order, the judgment of human deeds, and the homes of the elect and holy. He saw sinners expelled from these sacred places, dragged away under the punishment of the Lord of Spirits. He witnessed the mysteries of lightning and thunder, the division of winds as they blew across the earth, the origins of clouds and dew saturating the dry earth. He saw the chambers of hail, mist, and clouds suspended over the earth since the world began, and the chambers of the sun and moon, their paths glorious and unchanging. The sun followed its path by the command of the Lord of Spirits, whose name is mighty forever. The moon completed its course day and night, giving thanks and praise without rest. The sun brings blessing or curse. The moon's path shines light on the righteous and darkness on the sinners. This is the divine decree, separating light from darkness, dividing the spirits of men, strengthening the righteous, judging all with perfect righteousness. No angel, no power can hinder this divine order. All must stand judged before the Lord of Spirits. Hey everyone! If you love deep dives into ancient mysteries, hidden knowledge, and epic stories, make sure to subscribe to Obsidian Codex. Hit that subscribe button and join the journey into the unknown. Don't miss out. Obsidian Codex has everything you need to unlock the secrets of the past. Subscribe now and stay curious.